Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Melanin SRNA, and if you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing CRNA interview tips. So if you are interested or if you have an upcoming interview and you'd like to have some interview tips, then please keep on watching. First things first, are you subscribed? Make sure you hit the bell notification. That way you're notified every time I upload, and let's get into this video. So my very first tip is make sure you are prepared. It is important that you are prepared for your interview. Think about it as you prepare for your job interview, right? You go to the job's website, you look at the company, you look up any facts about the company, anything like that. It is the same when you are applying to school. You've already done your due diligence and researching up until this point, but your interview is your time to shine and your time to really showcase what exactly you know, who exactly you are, all of that. So you don't want to lose this opportunity that you've been picked out of 300, 400 applicants. You got the chance to get an interview. This is your time to shine, and you don't want to lose that opportunity by not preparing. It is very important that you prepare. Look up interview questions. I have a few on my website, and I'll link them down in the description box below. Formulate answers to those questions. I know there are a ton of different interview types. You have the clinical base, you have the personality base, emotional intelligence base. You have a lot of different types of interviews, and there are a lot of different types of questions that can be asked. But make sure you just have answers to the main points. Why do you want to be a CRNA? Why did you choose our school? What are the receptors for epi and levo and neo? You want to have answers to that. Definitely speak to what you're familiar with in your clinical based practice. When you did a lot of liver transplants, you know, be able to speak to what Mars is, you know, liver dialysis. Be able to speak to the things that you do in your practice if you've done them before. Don't start talking about, you know, recovering a heart and you've never done it before. You want to speak to what you're familiar with. Another good tip is record yourself. I know a girl that recorded herself for every single question and then played back exactly what she said to every single question. I think that's an amazing way to hear yourself answer these questions appropriately. Are you using a lot of filler words like or like or I don't know or anything like that? I know when I, you know, record these videos back, I do use a lot of filler words, and that's something I'm trying to work on. But you want to be able to speak with confidence and be confident in the answers that you are providing and be knowledgeable in that as well. It's also important that you do mock interview with several different people. It is good to do a mock interview because you get an idea of what kind of questions they could be asked. There's a series of questions that can be asked, and you want to make sure that you're answering the right question appropriately. You don't want to be asked a question but yet you're going off on a tangent, but that's not the answer. That's not the question I asked you. You want to be able to stay on track and answer the appropriate question, and that's it. And it's very, very good and very beneficial to do a mock interview. Trust me, your first mock interview you will completely bomb, and that's okay because it's just different. But the more that you do it and the more that you practice, you'll get better. I recommend doing at least 2 to 3 mock interviews, and with 2 to 3 people or 2 of the same people, but do a mock interview. That way you have some sort of idea what can be asked. And again, I do offer a mock interview service. I will leave the information in the description box below. The next 2 points kind of tie hand in hand together, and it is have confidence and don't BS them. You are in a panel interview with very qualified people that have been CRNAs for 10 plus years, so they know the in and outs of drugs, because that is something that we need to know, the different devices, everything. You do not want to BS them. You don't want to talk about something that you have no idea what you're talking about and sounds dumb. Basically, you don't want to, and it's okay if you don't know the answer. And I think that's what people fail to realize. It is okay if you don't know the answer. You're not going to know everything, and they do understand that, and they also understand that you are nervous, and so you may forget things that you know at the back of your head, that you do this every single day with no like hesitation. It is okay if you just don't know the answer. We're all nervous. This is a very nerve-wracking situation, and they get that. But it is okay to say that you don't know. You know, I had a client the other day I was doing a mock interview for, and I had asked her a drug question, and she honestly was like, I don't know, but I will review that. I think that is a perfect way to answer any question that you're really not sure about. And when I was reviewing with her, you know, the different concepts and stuff that she didn't know, and just kind of giving her like a heads up, like this is what it is in case they do ask you or anything like that, she was like, oh, I thought it was this, but I just wasn't sure, so I just said I don't know. And I was like, it's okay if you say, you know, I don't know, but I think it may be this. You've already covered that you don't know. So even if you say something completely wrong, it's not like they're gonna be like, oh, she don't know what she's talking about. So don't be afraid to say that. And then again, have confidence in what you're doing, what you're saying, especially if you know it's correct. Like, you know this, you know that, everything like that. Definitely have confidence. Another tip I forgot to mention in your prepare is, I know when I was preparing for my interview, a lot of the clinical based questions, you know, when they ask you, tell me about a time you found a case challenge. The month before my interview was going to start, I started really paying attention to a lot of the, you know, patients that I would get, and any difficult patient that I would get, I would try to remember key points and anything like that, write it down to be able to speak to. And I think that's a really good way. Make sure you have like patients in mind that you can definitely talk about, either as of recently or in the past, that you can remember different things. I have a lot of patients I've taken care of, so it's hard to remember, you know, a lot of the tougher cases that I've had way back then, but I try to, you know, have some recent cases in my head so that I can be able to speak to it in my interview. Now back to tip 2 and 3. Have confidence. Walk in there with confidence. I know you're nervous, but have some type of like confidence presence. Whether you need to have a pep talk with yourself and say, you know what, bitch, I got this shit. Like, you need to just tell yourself that you got this, even though you may feel like I bombed that shit, and that's okay. But you want to have that confidence to just be able to just ace the interview. I said confidence, not cocky. There's a difference. I remember, and this will kind of lead into tip number 4, is do something to stand out. And this is for all of my melanin girls. You know, we always have a dilemma within ourselves when we're going to interviews or anything like that. Like, how should we wear our hair? Should we wear it straight? Should we wear it in our natural state? Should we wear braids? Should we wear locks? Anything like that. I know a lot of people may not be able to relate to that, but as a Black woman, that is something that we struggle with a lot, because unfortunately, people do have misconceptions of me wearing my hair in braids, or me wearing my hair straight, or me wearing my hair in my natural state. And we have to kind of conform to that to be able to get the job that we may want. I was on a CRNA's page, and she is a Black CRNA in Atlanta, and she had mentioned this because I guess a lot of people had asked her in her DM, you know, how should I wear my hair in my interview? And she said, if your school cannot accept you for who you are and however you wear your hair, that's not the school for you. And I was like, I mean, that's plain and simple, like, to the point. Do you really want to go to a school that cannot accept you for your natural hair? Like, I wear my hair, you've seen it on my channel, I wear my hair natural, I wear my hair in braids, locks, all kinds of, I wear my hair any type of way that I want. And I don't want anybody to be like, yeah, you know, we don't want her because I don't like her hair. Well, you're not the school for me then, period. I say that to say this. So for my interview, and this is gonna lead into tip number 4, as far as like standing out, not in a bad way, but in a good way. For my interview, I wore an all-white suit, and I wore a black undershirt, and I had my hair in locks. And I'll probably insert a picture here just to kind of show you what kind of locks they were. And I almost second guessed myself because I had got it done, and I was like, dang, should I have gotten this done? Because I had like the color for string in there, but it was like cute. Like, it wasn't like any like crazy colors. And I remember walking into my interview, and I sat down, and the first question he asked me, and I don't think he was trying to be rude, I think he was trying to like break the ice, but the first question he asked me is, how would you fit your hair in the OR cap? Oh, is it how would you fit your hair, or can your hair fit in an OR cap? And I said yes. And I said it like, yes, it can. And I just left it at that, because I don't know if he was trying to like, I don't think he was trying to be rude. I really don't. But I can put my hair in an OR cap. I can. I put my hair in a surgical cap. It'll work. If I have to put 2 or 3 of them together, then I will. But it's gonna fit. Like it will. With me wearing an all-white suit, no one else had an all-white suit but myself, so I did stand out. I was the only one that had an all-white suit, but it was clean, it was nice. But yeah, I think it's a good way to kind of stand out in your own sort of kind of way. Whether you want to wear like a really bright red top or something colorful up top and some black slacks, definitely you know, the basics. Keep yourself groomed. Men, make sure you have your hairline. Don't be looking like you just woke up off the street, whatever. Even like for men, like if you want to have a nice fitted, like a nice suit with a pop of color, something, because everybody wears like a black, some sort of black something, but you want to have some type of colorful statement to stand out, so they have something to remember you by. And if you look the part and you look good and you have that, if you exude that confidence when you walk in and they can sense that, you should be good. Because think about it this way, when you are going into the OR and you bring your patient back, you don't want your patient to feel like you're timid, you don't know what you're doing, nothing like that. You want to have that confidence, like, I'm gonna take care of you, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be in PACU just chilling, like not gonna remember me or a thing. Like, you want them to feel that you know what you're doing, and that's just it. My number 5 point is ask questions. You get into the habit of thinking they're interviewing us, and they're interviewing us. However, you are interviewing them as well, because you also want to know if this school is a right fit for you. And I think that's very important, because, you know, a lot of us do apply to more than one school. We may have our top 1, our top 2, or whatever, but you want to know if your school is a right fit for you. So ask a question at the end and kind of see if it is. Obviously, don't ask a question that can be found on their website. Don't, like, ask something broad. A good question to ask is, what do you think your strengths and weaknesses of your program are? I think that's an excellent question, because it kind of puts them on the spot, because they're gonna have to tell you what their weaknesses are. And is that a weakness that you can accept, or can you find a different school that really fits your needs? I can't remember what question I asked them, but I know for me, when I was interviewing, they did like a kind of welcome session and they talked about their school. And one thing that really like made me solidify the decision that I made to apply to school, where they really talked about diversity. You know, they were really big on diversity. They're one of the most diverse schools in the country, and I really did like that about that program, which is why I did apply. However, as you know, I only applied to one school, so I didn't really have a second choice. But you know, some of the other schools that I wanted to apply to didn't really have that diversity that, you know, my school did. So I'm actually happy with the decision that I made to go to my school. But it is important to also, you know, ask a few questions about the school that you will be attending, because not only you want to make sure this school is a right fit for you as well. My last tip is, you have already made it this far. I know out of 300, 400 applicants, you know, they choose you to interview, and, you know, take that as a win. Take that as a, damn, like, I got chosen to have an interview, I must be doing something right. And even if they don't pick you, don't be hard on yourself, because, you know, out of that 400, they probably only interview like 80 or 60, and out of that, they really have to choose only 20 or 30. So don't let that beat you down if you happen to not get an interview or happen to not get a spot. Keep applying, keep going, don't give up. Another thing is, you will feel like shit when you get out of your interview. I would be completely honest. Unless they tell you right then and there if you got in, you will feel like shit when you leave your interview. I know I did. I felt like I bombed that shit, because I was like, yeah, I probably didn't get in. But, you know, be happy that it's over. Be happy that you made it this far. Be super grateful and super, you know, appreciative and everything, because you did make it this far, and it's really a win. Regardless of how you may feel, regardless of the fact that you may think that you maybe bombed the fuck out of it, you really made it this far. And I want you to, you know, celebrate, be happy, go get you a drink afterward. You know, the waiting part is really the hardest part, I won't lie. But I just want you to kind of not dwell so much on that, but just be like super happy, super grateful that you did make it this far. You are amazing. You are an amazing nurse, already this close to being a CRNA. So definitely keep applying, you know, never give up, and you will get your spot. I just wanted to mention this. I forgot to add it into the interview video, but I am currently working on the mentoring webinar. For all of you guys that are interested, please let me know what type of topics that you would be interested in seeing in the mentoring webinar. I do want to do something completely different outside of YouTube. I know I talk a lot about school and things like that, and I do have a ton of nursing students that follow me. So especially for you guys, like, what is it that you want to see from me, that you want to get out of it, the different topics that you are expecting to see, the things that you want to talk about, definitely drop them down below. This is something that I'm really trying to work hard to perfect and be something amazing. So let me know. Definitely for my ICU nurses, that if you're watching and you're interested, definitely drop some different topics that you are wanting to see. I'm thinking that I might do it on a monthly basis, the webinar, but again, I'm hoping to have my very first session in December. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed my tips and you learned something new. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, then definitely drop them down in the description box below, or send me an email and I'll leave my email right here. If you're wanting to schedule a mock interview with me, I do know there are a couple of schools that have currently sent out their interviews right now, so definitely book down below. I will leave it in the description box as well. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you in another video. Bye, y'all.